Microphone check.
Hello, hello.
Check, check, check.
Cricket, cricket.
I just hate our viewers so much. I really do. Hate them all.
It's like they don't even care. Hey, Trevor, long time no talk. How you doing, buddy?
Trevor? What?
He's a Canadian.
Oh. So he likes the hockey, eh?
Sorry, eh?
What was that?
Sorry.
Oh, what?
Sorry, eh?
Okay.
I say sorry.
Oh, okay.
Maple donuts.
Free healthcare.
Today we're going to get started on a little bit more of a serious note. There was some news that came out yesterday that the quarterback for the Washington State Cougars apparently committed suicide, Tyler Helsinki. We'd like to send our thoughts and condolences to his friends and family. And, you know, having gone to the University of Idaho, we understand what that kind of family camaraderie that comes with being a part of a college and a university.
Well, it's a close-knit community, just the Palouse in general. So.
Exactly. And so it really hurts to see somebody that we feel like we're connected to in some way go like that. And, you know, he started against Michigan State in the Holiday Bowl recently, and he was the presumed starter for next year. So big loss in the Palouse community. So sending our thoughts out that way. I do want to continue on this sentiment that, like, depression is a very real, very serious thing, especially on college campuses in the wintertime. Like, your dorm can get pretty dang dark and pretty lonely. So as fans, like, we sometimes forget that these sports figures and people who, you know, we're fans of just because of sports are actually human beings and they have feelings too. And so if you or somebody you know is having a rough time, we encourage you to connect with the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The number for that is 1-800-273-8255. I know that if you're going through a depressing time, you can just call that number and they'll talk you down, and it really does help. But I do have to say, since a lot of our viewers are Idahoan, I want to give this organization a shout out here. I actually had the privilege to design their website, and I know what they do, and I know it has a huge impact in the Idaho State community. It's called SPAN Idaho. It stands for Suicide Prevention Action Network. And their vision is that Idahoans choose to live, and their mission is to reduce suicide in Idaho through statewide advocacy, collaboration, and education in best practices. So if you're looking to get involved with suicide prevention in the state of Idaho, visit one of their regional chapters today. I'll leave a link in the comments and the description of this YouTube video. Wherever you're listening to this, you'll see the link. And you can visit their site for more information. So I'm going to drop this in the comments here. For anybody who comes across this episode, that can maybe be a help to them and maybe somebody they know. So with the important matters taken care of, there's not really anybody in here, and that's totally fine. But if there is a ghost out there, you should spam some emojis on the Facebook reaction line and share this with your friends, like Casper and the other ghosts that are in that movie. But let's get this party started.
Graphics.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 36 of the Abstract Sports Podcast, where we're bringing sports back to life by looking at a unique perspective on sports from abstract yet popular angles. Hashtag BSB2L. L.
It's a lot of hashtags.
L stands for loss. No, just kidding. Hey, Alice, welcome to the podcast. You joined at just the perfect time. We've got a hell of a show. That's one word, hell of a.
Hella!
And we're coming at you live on Facebook. As you know, Alice, people on SoundCloud don't know what the good time is, I guess. But let's just get this thing going, and we're going to get it started by decorating my hair because I suck at making sports ball bets. Yay!
Yeah, you do.
So to give a little bit of background on the bet, Micah and I picked the teams who we thought were going to win in the NFL last week, and it was actually really close up until the very last play of the Vikings game.
It wasn't that close.
If they didn't score that touchdown, I win. But they score that touchdown at the buzzer, and you win. Micah claims that there was no luck involved there. I call BS.
Sorry, I'm actually doing something important. Sorry.
What's that?
I was doing something important.
Were you?
Yes.
What was that?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, fine. Probably chatting in here? No. All right, well, I have to introduce a very special guest. Since I did lose this bet, Micah's wife, a.k.a. Bectar, will be decorating my hair for the next few minutes while I talk about how sad I am that I keep losing bets.
I have a wife?
Look, guys, he's married.
That's pretty neat.
Oh, my gosh.
Hi, guys, I'm real.
She's real. Not just on the internet real, but real life real.
I never knew.
It's IRL Becca. I mean, Bectar.
Bringing Bectar back to life.
I'm bringing Becca back. What?
I had no say on what we do to his hair, by the way. This is
Be pretty.
purely
So-
her.
Yeah, this is all her.
Just said it's blonde and wispy, so be prepared.
I did listen back on the last episode. If you turn your volume up really loud just for that one little second, you can hear my neck like Clay.
Yeah.
Clay on YouTube said that he didn't hear it, but I'm gonna comment and be like, "Turn your volume up."
Yeah, it sounded like you broke your neck. So
I mean that just lets me know. Oh, geez, there's goo going in there. Oh
So
man,
much goo. Oh, God, there's a lot more. I thought there was going to be.
great! I got an amateur doing my hair too.
Yeah, you
Perfect.
yeah.
God, you're going to have to wash your hair tonight.
Well, I think that was planned anyway.
I never
so.
wash my hair. Now I guess I will tonight since this is happening.
Ooh.
Alice says hi, Becca.
Hi, Alice.
Got like a.
Kelly should be here helping me.
She really should, but she's got that student life going on still.
I can't see the.
Whoa!
Oh, my God.
Do I look like Johnny Bravo yet?
Is it perfect? Sorry,
my-
there's a lot of goo in there.
Why is she's apologizing? I don't know if she's doing your bet reward justice, Micah.
I learned long ago not to criticize anything she does,
It does smell really nice. Okay, this is your color, I think.
except perhaps if something's on fire.
Oh my gosh, I look like Phil and Lil from Rugrats. With the comb up in the front, the bow. So I guess Lil,
Kind
not
of.
Phil.
Very pretty.
Yes.
This is way too calm. We need way more going on
Way
here.
more.
Yeah.
What do we need? More goo?
It's something. You need more than this. This isn't punishment.
Getting there.
You see, I actually did cut my hair too, so that they were limited in what they could do to my hair.
All right, here we go.
If I kept it the way it was, they could have
We're going with more goo.
just like.
Your hair's too short. I can't slick it back.
It's nice that I can actually see this on the camera though, so I know what's happening.
Oh man.
I don't
A
know.
lot more goo.
Yeah, should have made a no haircuts rule, so she could have done like the Wolverine thing to you.
Oh
Sorry,
well.
we're going all
Curly
out
on the
with this side of
sides.
the goo. Oh my God, this stuff is gross.
This I might just do this. Might leave it in my hair all night and just come back to work like this tomorrow.
Hey,
Very pretty.
I design websites.
Yeah.
I obviously don't do hair.
You need a website? I got you. Need a hairstylist? Don't use Bectar.
Get hired on by the LGBTQ community for websites.
Yeah, I'm not a professional, so sorry.
It's all right.
Pretend they're germs. Pretend it's germs.
Pretend it's germs. Oh
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Hey Heath,
Just like-
welcome to the podcast. This is a great time for you to join. I lost a bet, so my partner here's wife gets to decorate my hair. But just to talk about a little bit of sports stuff, I guess. We have had a lot of requests to talk about my hair too
It's
short.
Not staying in. Here, we'll
Try harder, Becca.
up here.
Oh yeah, that one went right into my scalp. Actually, no, just kidding.
Pretty. This is sparkly.
Heath says nice hair too. Thanks, man.
Appreciate
I'm getting
it.
this treatment for free. If you suck at bets, you get a nice hairdo. But we did have a lot of requests to talk about curling and Olympics and stuff like that. So I will let all of you curling fans know, and ice dancing for Keltron out there. We'll be talking about that on February 7th. That'll be the day before the opening ceremony is.
Ceremonies.
So we can do some good preview of the Winter Olympics there, do it some good justice. And I actually saw today that Korea is going to be walking in the ceremony together as like a sign of unity, which is crazy coming from those two countries.
I think it's so South Korea will pay for the food.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
There's probably some sort of political backing to
Oh,
it.
there's something about it. So
It's okay. I'm expecting it.
This is getting better here.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's getting pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like,
My hair's like putting the camera out of focus. It's like, oh, it's so deep now, I can't tell.
oh man, this is gonna be greasy.
So what was worse, my drink concoction or this?
What's worse?
Yeah.
The drink concoction.
The drink concoction. Okay. The hot dog, liquid hot dog.
Yes, the liquid hot
This
dog.
one at least smells good.
We've got more on hot dogs for you guys later.
Yeah.
You just wait. If you follow the podcast at all, you know we've made some jokes about a certain kind of hot dog and a certain guy. You'll see.
It's not me.
You'll want to stick around for that one.
All right, we're just gonna put all these in your hair.
Okay, just
Sorry.
don't smack me while you're doing it. Jeez.
It's hard to put these in someone else's hair. I've never had to.
I think I have goo on my face now. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I want it on my face,
All right.
she said.
What does it need?
Do you need more bows?
I will obviously get through
All
more.
right.
So.
More
I mean,
bows.
if anybody out there has a suggestion for the hairdo, please let Becca know she needs advice here.
I'm not a pro, that's for sure.
Nothing permanent, but
You could put like a bow on a bow on a bow, then I'd have like a snake bow on my forehead.
Ooh, yeah. I got
snake bow.
Like a
snake bow.
snake boa. Boa. See, what other sports things can we talk about that are not really sports related? This is where we need Jacob for the abstract sport of the week. Oh yeah, that's getting heavy. Starting to weigh my head down.
It's like
For the SoundCloud viewers or listeners, Becca just gave Kyle the full Bart Simpson and then put a bunch of bows and flowers in his hair.
okay, I put all the bows.
All
I
of,
have
so
in
how many are there? There are 5 bows, right?
2, 3,
More than
4,
that.
5, 6 bows.
6 bows
1, 2, 3,
and
4 flowers.
4 flowers.
They're very pretty.
So 10 hair accessories,
And
and-
a pound of hair glue.
maybe not quite a pound, but quite a bit. Way more than the recommended amount. Way
than the
more.
recommended amount.
So
For those of you who can see, my
Oh, that's just
tongue
cake
is covered
icing.
covered in goo. So.
if Kyle loses this week, he has to eat it. Just kidding.
I have to
It
say,
smells good.
my hair smells as good as it looks. Well, that's not true. Let me rephrase that. My hair smells as colorful as it is.
It smells like pears or something.
Pears.
Fruity.
Sort of fruit.
Does it say on it? Is it natural or is it
It's
GMO?
it's like Pixie Play,
It's
Garnier
called
Pixie Play.
Play crafting cream. What
Oh,
is that?
man, the
Yeah, we picked out the
alliteration.
cheapest crafting cream we could find at Walmart.
For a PC out of bed look.
PC.
Peace.
Piecey.
Oh.
Not
PC?
I was like, a PC look? I don't understand that, but okay.
For a personal computer kind of look.
Not sure how that works, but I'm not going to question the folks over at Garnier.
Garnier.
Or whatever this one is. What is this?
Garnier Fructis.
This is not a paid advertisement.
Garnier Fructis style.
Oh, man.
With black fig. You have black fig in your hair.
That's hot.
This is an extra stronghold, level 3 of 5.
so exotic.
Alright, well, if anyone has any suggestions, I can always modify.
Okay, I'm going to do a quick 360 and then I'll give you a close-up just because.
Beautiful.
I should have had my webcam around you the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Want to smell it?
I've smelled that cream, I'm sure.
You're going to be smelling it for days.
Man, I got this one easy.
Sticking around and go home.
Okay.
All right. So we got a long show. Becca just said she's going to stay, so I'm like, well, let's make this as long as possible.
Ruin my commentary.
But yeah, so I lost the bet. Becca, thank you for the hairdo. I very much appreciate it. Might have to make this a new profile picture.
Don't lie to my wife.
What? That's my wife.
It's my wife.
But we'll probably do
My
some,
job to lie to her.
We'll do some Olympics talk on February 7th, as I mentioned. But the first thing we're going to talk about today is some hockey.
Hockey?
Yeah, I know, right? I actually watched some games.
What'd you think?
Or actually, I watched one game.
You told me to.
I told you too, but I didn't realize there were so few games that are played in the evenings. It seems like there was a couple days where there was only 2 games. When I got home from work, they were already either halfway over or done. I was like,
You Canadians.
what the heck, man? It must be a time difference thing.
Well, most of the teams are on the East Coast.
Yeah, so that makes sense. But I did watch the New York Islanders and the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens with an E. It was actually a lot of fun. I mean, as I've said before, I've watched some hockey games in real life, and I think those are extremely exciting. You know, there's fights. It's fast-paced. The coordination that's involved in hockey just is kind of mind-blowing.
Unparalleled, in my opinion.
That is parallel?
Unparalleled.
The
amount of coordination.
Yeah. You don't think there's a lot?
Unparalleled, meaning the most.
Okay. Micah's using his words funny. He's got me confused. But the Islanders scored within the first 1.5 minutes. And it was like, oh, wow, that was fast. I just loved all the names. That was like one thing that stuck out to me just because I don't watch hockey, so I don't know the names.
Yeah, it's very cheddar biscuit.
Yeah. There's a guy, Anthony Beauvillier. Bovine. And then another guy whose name was Cal Clutterbuck.
Oh, he's queso frisco.
Queso frisco? What?
See, now I'm just using weird words.
I know, you're
I
just messing with
weird.
me.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Cheese?
Fresh cheese.
Cold cheese? Okay.
Fresh cheese.
Fresco?
Stale cheese.
Yeah.
As opposed to stale cheese, yes. Becca's like our new co-host. I like it. We got some peanut gallery in the background.
Boo!
We got some extra chairs. We could totally fill this space with people.
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob, what the hell? But there were 4 points scored in the first period. So the first quarter was really exciting, just kind of back and forth, 2-2 at the end of the period. Islanders ended up winning. It was 5-4 with a goal in overtime.
What?
So not only did I watch a hockey game, but I picked a good one. And I would have never known if it was going to be good or not just by the looks of things. So I got lucky there. But Cal Clutterbuck, that's like a top 5 name of all time. It's pretty good.
Husker Du.
What? Is that another hockey name?
Huh?
I
No.
hate this guy.
It's like when I said Tuukka Rask the first time. You were like, what?
Tuukka Rask.
What is that?
You're just saying things.
Yeah, we were making the outline. He's like, what is that? Like, it's a player.
It's a player. He just does things to confuse me. And I'm over here trying to go off a timeline or off a line. I'm like, your words make no sense to me, son.
See, what's more confusing about hockey names is not how they're pronounced, but how they're spelled.
Yes. There's a lot of those Russian names are like, there's just a lot of
either all vowels or no vowels.
Yeah, it's like just no vowels. It's kind
Pretty
of what they
much.
look like. But the thing about hockey that kind of blows my mind too is maybe it's just the way it's shot on TV. I don't know. But there seems to be like a general sense of recklessness about it because it's just like, it seems like guys are just skating all over the place and the camera's just following the puck all over. But if you're there in person, you can tell that their movements are all purposeful. Like, you know exactly what they're doing by like spacing out the ice and getting the guy out here so I can pass to him and create some passing lanes by, getting guys up and down the ice. But it is really fun to watch.
It's got a mixture of basketball in there as far as
Yeah.
kind of like your half court. It's your half rink.
Yeah.
It's your zone. You're in your zone.
And you've got like,
offensive zone.
The what do they call it? Where they drop the puck on the ice. What's the word? The face off.
Oh, yeah.
Their face off
like
is
the
very
tip-off.
similar to like a tip off in basketball. Yeah. So I think, obviously the scoring is the thing that makes it so different.
It's more soccerish in that way.
Yeah, and so maybe that's where the recklessness kind of comes in because like when a shot's on goal and it's just kind of bouncing around, there's just guys cramming into the net area or whatever they call that area. There's a
crease.
The crease, yeah. I heard that word. I'm like, I should make a note of that so I can just use
What is crease?
Using the buzzwords, Brad, welcome to the show. Do you like my hair? It's my great reward for sucking at making bets. But yeah, hockey is really fun to watch. I'm going to keep trying to watch games. I'll try to watch at least one.
Going to a game on Saturday.
You are?
Yeah.
Where are you? Oh, you're going
Spokane
you're going
Chiefs.
Up north. That's
Yeah.
right. Who are they playing?
They were playing the Tri-City Americans, their rivals, on Buck Night.
I saw that. I saw them play each other once. And literally, they dropped the puck on the first face-off, and they all just dropped their sticks and gloves and started punching each other.
Yeah, they don't like each other. They really don't like each other.
They give the fans a show. And if you've got Buck Beer Night going on.
It's not Buck beer, but it's Buck sodas and Buck hot dogs. So
Another hot dog reference. Nice.
Yeah, it's Buck Bins. $1 Buck Bins. But we bring in our adult adult juice and mix it with our soda pop and have a good time.
Well, there you go. That's how you do it, kids. Don't do that, kids.
I said adult juice.
Adult juice, yeah, true. For adults only. Brad says, "Nice dude. Thanks."
Bruh.
I'll be sure to take a profile selfie later. Probably put it as the cover photo on the Abstract Sports Facebook page. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the cover for the SoundCloud episode, so people are like, what the hell are they doing?
Hairstylists hate him. Click here to find out why.
Yeah. You won't believe what happened next.
You won't believe what happened in this podcast.
So, yeah, hockey. Had a lot of fun watching that. I'll watch more games.
It's an excellent sport.
Yes. And maybe I'll get to the point where I'm not talking so much about just one game and the weird names. I'll get to the point where I'm talking about strategy. And
if you like football and you don't like basketball, or maybe you're just not a huge fan of basketball like myself.
If you're Micah.
If you're me, give hockey a try. It's great.
And
especially playoff hockey.
Playoff hockey or catch a game in person, any level, and it's going to be a good time.
Regular season hockey, give or take. Playoff hockey, though, can't beat it.
I agree. I mean, I'll watch any kind of postseason game.
True. I'll watch NBA postseason.
Hockey is rowdy. Basketball is rowdy. I mean, it's the game is short enough in hockey and in basketball that we have breaking news from ESPN. Oh, lovely. I just got news from ESPN that the Lakers' Kentavious Caldwell-Pope strained his Achilles, will not return. So they have Lonzo out with a knee thing. He come back sometime soon. And then they just got him that's out. And anyways, what a perfect time for a transition. Let's talk about a little bit of basketball. Nailed it.
Squishy ball graphic.
So there's one point here that I actually didn't have a chance to research. So I'm going to try to do a quick Google search here. I saw that the way they're picking the All-Star teams is a little different this year.
How so?
I heard that, like, I don't know, there's like a captain for each team, like for the East and the West, and then they pick teams, similar to what the NFL has done for the Pro Bowl.
So like a fantasy thing?
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know if it's true, though. Like, so, I mean, I'm not going to go into any detail on that because I don't know if it's even true, but the people that I heard were Steph Curry and LeBron James are the captains, and they get to pick their teams. So that could be kind of interesting. But that's all I know about it. So stay tuned for next week. I'll give you more information. But I did watch a lot of basketball. The same night I watched hockey, I had like 2 tabs going, and I would turn the audio on one, off on the other, and I just kind of flip-flop. I watched 2 of the 3 games that were on TNT that night, and they were, I mean, both pretty good games. The Lakers were playing, and then I think the Thunder played a little later. But on Monday night, there were 21 technical fouls given out.
That's a lot of T's.
Like, throughout the entire association. There were a whole bunch of games going on. 5 ejections. Jake, welcome to the podcast. How do you like my hairdo?
Jake.
I know it's nice.
Jake.
Shout out to Bectar.
Jake.
Hairstylist.
Jake.
Up and coming hairstylist.
Watching the show. Jake.
But the guys who got ejected on Monday night included a lot of star players. People like Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin, Ben Simmons, Kyle Lowry, and Trevor Ariza.
What did Lowry do?
Lowry and Ben Simmons were like wrestling with each other, and they just were yelling back and forth, and so that's how they both got ejected. And when they left the court, they made like this gesture like, "Oh, I'll see you in the hall. I'll see you in the hall." You know, like one of those.
Or if you're the Houston Rockets, I'll see you in the locker room.
They're like, "Catch me outside. Catch me in the secret tunnel.
Catch me in the back door. How about that?"
So yeah, and Blake Griffin, I'm so mad because I watched the 2 of the 3 games that were in primetime. I didn't watch the last one, and that was the most entertaining one. It was the Clippers and the Rockets. So Chris Paul returning to LA for the first time.
He is head of the Players Union, by the way. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so he's supposed to show leadership in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
Well, I guess it wasn't really him that was getting into things. I mean, he's still kind of a dirty player, in my opinion. Becca, welcome to the podcast. She's in this room. Oh, she just left. Oh, she's getting a different kind of angle.
Jerk.
She's in the room with us. So there was this play. Blake Griffin was going down the court. He had like a wide open fast break. Trevor Ariza reaches out and like grabs him like by his like leg
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
sleeve, ripped his shorts up. Like the look on Blake's face when this is happening, he's like, "Oh no!" Like, oh my goodies are about to be
Exploded.
exploded and in the public's eye. And anyways, after that play, Blake Griffin got trapped at half court, so he had to like try to jump and throw the ball off of a guy. So he threw it off like Eric Gordon's head in like dodgeball fashion. And then there was just a bunch of arguing and pushing around. Blake ended up getting ejected.
Well, if I remember correctly, he was mad about the pants tearing because there wasn't a foul called.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, and it was
because
like
it looked like they stopped play afterwards, but I didn't see it, so I don't know.
yeah. From what I was seeing, they didn't call a foul, and Blake was like, "How the bleep was that not a foul? He tore my pants. What more do you need?
Bleepity bleep, ref.
Yeah. Do you need blood, ref?" So I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I did see that. I heard from an interview that Blake and Ariza were talking to each other in that moment, and the reporter asked him what they were saying, and he was like, "Oh, he asked me if I was still coming to his birthday party later this year," and everybody in the room just kind of like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we have a different kind of relationship." So I don't know. Part of me thinks that there's been so much of this happening that it almost seems staged. It's like, just before All-Star break, all these fights are happening. People are getting ejected. 21 technicals on the same night. Then the next night, Aflalo throws a haymaker at a guy. Aflalo gets suspended for 2 games. Gerald Green ends up getting suspended for 2 games. I don't know. I can't tell if it's like they're trying to make the NBA seem less soft or if it's just like a legitimate hostility that has grown in the NBA.
We're going to make this WWB.
World
Wrestling basketball.
worldwide wrestling basketball ship.
Well, they just had to take some of the spotlight from the NFL. That's all they're trying to do.
It's possible. I mean, they're trying to bring the viewers into theirs, but
That's what happens when you have a team dominate for 4 years.
it's true. Players just start getting pissed.
Yeah.
But honestly, I love the physicality and like the hostility that is going on because for the past decade or more, the NBA has been labeled as soft, and I don't disagree. I totally think that's true. I think some of the players from the more aggressive eras are now gone. Like Vince Carter is one of the last guys from that draft class. Dirk Nowitzki is the only. I think I saw a thing that Vince Carter and Dirk Nowitzki are the last 2 players from the '98 draft class. So that kind of tells you where the league is in terms of cycling players out and bringing new ones in. But there's just a certain sense of attitude and effort that comes in with like older eras. The way the league is now, it's like try to get fouls because it's a strategy, shoot the long ball because you're good at it, and it kind of makes the game weak.
Yeah, there's no mid-range jumper.
Yeah, the mid-range is kind of gone. There's not really a big man down low that's dominating. He's more of an outside guy. So
Dunks and threes.
So the hostility, I think, is coming because maybe it's because of all the trades that have been going on. Players are coming back to their hometown, and it's just high emotion. But
Adam Silver's secretly a gangster. Just tell him to crank up the violence.
I saw some jokes like that out there. But, I mean, the All-Star voting did just come to an end, so all these players who have been having such harsh rivalries and, like come-undones are going to have to see each other again because a lot of these players that are getting involved like this are big-name guys.
Huge,
the biggest.
They know basketball.
So that's one thing to keep an eye on in the NBA. There's been a lot of chatter that possibly the refs have been too trigger happy with the technical calls. They're just saying, like they see one thing and they're like, oh, technical, and then it causes like the player to react because it's a ridiculous call, and then they get teched and then thrown out. So I don't know.
I've never experienced bad reffing.
Yeah.
Any sports game I've been to.
Yeah, the refs, they just keep everything.
They've never
check.
given
They're
me
perfect.
any reason to yell at them. Never any reason to be upset. Becca's been with me to basically all the games I've ever been to. I never yell at the refs.
Never?
Never.
Becca, can you attest to that?
Yeah, that's all he does is yell at the refs.
All he does is yell at the refs.
I might have
Okay.
lied.
Micah's a big fat liar.
Yes.
But, so yeah, NBA is getting pretty physical. some other news just really quick before we jump into the thick of things with the NFL and football. Kawhi Leonard is apparently out again.
What is he made of glass?
Well, I guess what they're saying is that he's continuing his rehab. So it's kind of like he came back to test it, and now he's like, I need to do this again. So I think it was
not ready.
I mean, they were limiting his minutes too, so they just trying to get him some contact. But it's like, why don't you do that more in practice? Have him gauge it there, then risk him out there in games that matter. Maybe they really just think. I don't know why they would risk a player like Kawhi. Dude's got a long future. But yeah, so he's continuing his rehab with what is called a quad tendinopathy.
So he's not coming back.
They say indefinitely he's out. So I mean,
So
it's
he's
halfway through
not-
the season. You don't mess with tendons, man. It's either get it back to full health or just tear the damn thing and stay out for a whole year and come back.
Yeah. Cut it up.
Just get it over with.
Cut it.
Tyler, I'm not sure who this guy is. Have you guys ever seen anyone yet yell at the refs? Could you imagine? Oh, yeah. I never do. I never see players overreact. I never see the fans throw up their arms in disbelief.
Doesn't happen.
There's not a place for that in sports. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm just waiting for a big guy, either basketball or NFL, something, that knows they're on like their last game and there's just an awful call and they just
let it go.
Just maybe not kill the guy, but just show what they can do to someone that's not in the game.
Right.
Just
like
this call
James
was so
Harrison
bad.
comes back for the Steelers for one last game and he just like goes on a rampage.
Well, he's never going back to the Steelers.
No,
So-
he's pretty much cut his ties there.
One thing to be said about the NHL: the officiating's rarely an issue.
True. That's very true.
It's usually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the home crowd's always gonna be like, "Oh, that was a hooking or interference or something," but it's usually pretty good. The majority of the frustration in hockey is not official involved.
Yeah, I think the rules in hockey are just
It's pretty clear.
yeah, it's like icing. Okay, that's a thing. We all know when it happens.
Yeah.
And like delayed penalties are a thing, and I'm not entirely sure how they work, but they just like wait till a good stopping point before
No.
the penalty is
It's possession.
possession. Okay. So yeah, I mean, and the fact that the game does include fighting and stuff like that, I feel like the fans can be at ease if there's a bad call or not, because that player is probably going to come back and try to kick his ass.
Yeah. They're trying to clean it up. Fighting has turned some people away. At least the new generation of folks that are very
Sensitive.
let's not fight people. So,
Tyler says take his life. Yeah, James Harrison comes in, just rips a ref's head off.
yeah.
Ugh.
So, yeah, the old school hockey are all about fighting. Always have the enforcer, the goon. But new era hockey, you won't see as much fighting.
Yeah. Well, I hope you get to see a bunch of fighting in that game up there in Spokane.
See, I feel weird about it.
No?
Well,
Yeah?
when you watch the Spokane in the Western Hockey League, you're like, yeah, sitting there, got your beer, start fighting. They do the boxing bell, like, bing, 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 let's go. And everybody gets hyped. And the ushers come down to make sure people don't throw things on the ice. And you're like, yeah, they're fighting. And then you're like, they're 17.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little weird.
Because it is a semi-pro team, right?
Yeah, they're
It's
from
not-
16 to 20. So
and see,
they
I
can't even drink. I can drink, and I can watch them fight, and it's okay. It's kind of
maybe
weird.
it's well, I don't know. It's like structural character building, I guess.
Well,
But it's just in the very interesting way.
yeah, it has a purpose too. There's a lot of frustration that builds up on the ice. People getting in your way.
Yeah.
People talking smack, like you see it on like football and basketball. People talking smack. Well, in hockey, you talk enough smack, you're gonna get hit.
Right.
And
Slammed into the wall.
Yeah, and it's okay for them to do that. So I think it's a good pressure valve. So
I agree. It kind of keeps the game in check on
Yeah.
its own.
Just as much as I would love to see DeMarcus Cousins beat up on Kevin Durant, because he would, that's not going to happen.
Right.
So,
Dallas, welcome to the stream. Do you like my hairdo? Courtesy of Bectar.
dilly dal,
The one and only. Dilly dilly dally.
dilly dilly,
Dilly dilly.
turn me into Bud Light.
Bud Light. Just like stack of Bud Light.
Next week's just a stack of Bud Light, and I'm just off on the side talking.
Why is there a reverberation? I don't get it. Yeah.
We'll just have a mic on my shirt, and this will just be here for show.
Hey, I have one of those. We can do
There
that.
you
So let's jump into a little bit. We already did basketball. Oh, that's because I still have some things to say. There's a guy for the Celtics, a legend who passed away yesterday, a guy named JoJo White. He was a 2-time champion with them. Passed away at the age of 71. So also thoughts out to his family, his friends. And let's move on to some football action. Yeah. Dallas says, "Ha, looks great. Thanks."
So this is actually my favorite weekend in the NFL
Why is this your favorite weekend in the NFL?
because you have 2 championship games and none of the parade celebrity bullcrap.
Okay.
So there's not 2 weeks of media before it.
Right.
There's not celebrities at the games. The tickets are a little cheaper than the Super Bowl, so you get some of the actual fans there instead of just, the 1%ers. And the goal is playing for a championship. It's not the whole kit and caboodle.
Right. But it's like the best of the best from each side of the league.
Yeah, it's the top 4 teams trying to win their league.
And to go on to a big moment in their lives in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Like, I like the Super Bowl, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But the whole pre-production, it's like a 7-hour thing.
The longer halftime show.
Yeah, a longer halftime show that's usually not that, well, I won't bring my personal opinion into it that much. I just like this one more. It's more football-y than it is showy, and they're usually pretty good games.
Yeah. And I think we've got a couple lined up.
Yes.
First, let's go back and talk about the divisional round. So just some things that kind of happened in those games and why to get to where we are now with the 4 teams going forward. So in the divisional round, we had Atlanta against Philadelphia. And Atlanta...
Poopy.
They poopied. They had a last shot for Julio Jones in the corner of the end zone. And then Julio, when he closed his hands, you just see the ball go right through, and it's like somebody sliding under a garage before it shuts completely is kind of what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
But he still came down out of bounds, but you wonder if he got his hands on the ball, would he have straightened out like a pin and toe tap that thing? But regardless, though, it was a really fun game because it was so close. But the team that I feel like we've all been expecting to be at this point is the Philadelphia Eagles going on to play the Patriots, which we'll get to in a little bit. Is there anything that stood out to you in that Falcons in the bird throwdown? Falcons Eagles.
Nick Foles is gonna have to step his game up if he wants to beat Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean if it's that close of a call with a not fully coordinated Falcons team, I feel like it's gonna be even tougher.
Yeah, the Falcons have never been known for their defense per se. I mean they do have Quinn as their coach. Is that his name? Yeah, Brad Quinn. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the old Seattle defensive coach, but. You can only score 15. You score 1 touchdown, kick a bunch of field goals. Hey, you won. Good for you.
Yeah.
But it's not going to get any easier. It's about to get a lot harder.
Yeah, and I said going on to play the Patriots, but I'm pretty sure that's actually wrong.
That is incorrect.
They're going on to play the Vikings.
Yeah. They could play the Patriots if they win and the Patriots win. But because they played them in the Super Bowl last year, so they couldn't play them in the conference championship this year.
Right.
Because
unless
they rearrange. Yeah, thanks.
So then the other game that happened that turned out the way we expected was the Tennessee Titans and the New England Patriots.
Yep, I called that on the button.
Yeah, well, who didn't? Well, yeah, that's right. You got the number exactly right on how much they were going to beat the Titans by. But it started out a little hopeful. Titans scored first, and it was just like, oh my, the upset of the century coming up.
Yeah, and they're like, that's all we got. All right. So, but the Titans have mutually parted ways with their coach, Mike Mularkey.
And that's something Micah has been looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm the kind of guy that hopes people lose their jobs.
Right. Not like that. No.
As a sports fan, this team way underachieved the past 2 years. Yeah. Especially this year, way underachieved.
I've been actually listening to a lot of ESPN radio while I'm in the car, and they basically summed it up perfectly. They're like, sorry about that. The U of I is calling and asking me for donations at the moment.
Give us money.
But they basically were saying that everybody knew that Mike Mularkey, I keep saying Mularkey because it's M-U-L.
Mularkey.
But like they don't have a very sophisticated offense is what they were saying. And so this kind of is coming to an end that everybody sort of anticipated, but not after getting a wild card win.
Yeah, and the thing about it was he was too loyal to his offensive coordinator that he brought in.
Mm-hmm.
And
Andy, welcome to the show, man. How do you like my hair? Sorry, go ahead, Micah.
no, you're fine. They were talking to him, like, hey, you really turned this team around from a 3-win team to a playoff team. But we need to change some things. And they had a difference in opinion of how the team should go. And I think that's what ultimately ended the relationship is, hey, you have this really talented group of guys that are kind of underperforming because the system doesn't fit them.
Right.
Let's change the system. And he's like, no, they're just making mistakes. No, only you think that. So they parted ways. The Titans GM is still relatively new. He got hired in 2016.
But made a good decision on this one.
Yeah, I think he did. I really think he did. I mean, the way I see it, the Titans were an Andrew Luck and a Deshaun Watson fully healthy, 1.5 players away from being third in the division, if not fourth in the division.
Yeah, and after the season they had last year, there was a lot of hope for them.
Yeah.
Even though Mariota had the leg injury late, he came back a little bit gimpy, but I think they had, because of last year, there were high expectations, and when they came out the way they did this year, it was just kind of like, okay, what the hell's going on? But be interesting to see who they bring in. I don't know if there's been any talks or if you know of any talk, but
they're talking about Chase McDaniels from New England and Mike.
Isn't that the guy with the beard?
No.
Oh, that's a different guy?
He's going to Lions. That's Matt Patricia.
Okay.
And then they're talking about Mike Vrabel, the defensive coordinator for the Texans.
Mike Vrabel.
He played for the Patriots.
I've heard the name before. Yeah.
Played for the Patriots. He's now in Houston as a coach. They're talking about him. Talking about another guy. My vote would be McDaniels if he interviews well. Mm-hmm. If depending on how he answers the questions about his little stint in Denver, we'll see. But I think him paired with a couple of Heisman winners might be pretty good.
Yeah, you got a couple of good guys there.
Yeah, you got just a few.
Just a few. Andy says, my hair's beautiful. Why, thank you. Man, I'm getting compliments out of this. I don't even know where the bad is.
You're hired.
Where's my money?
Yeah, this is a free do, man.
Feel free to donate to abstractsports.com.
Yeah. Oh, that's something I've been wanting to mention, actually. Thank you for bringing this up. Little tangent here. I've been making some changes to the website. You won't see them yet, but I do have e-commerce turned on. I think I mentioned that before. I just need to get products uploaded and get it all styled and looking good. And you guys can purchase the shirt off the website. If you're in town, there's going to be an option for like free local delivery or something. So
it would show up in
it's like $5. Oh, I'll ship it to you. Oh, you're 2 blocks away. Well, still you're paying shipping.
You can select the car. Do you want a Civic, an Intrigue, a Jetta, or a Ranger to deliver this to you?
We'll deliver it wearing our shirt, maybe some sunglasses. But
would you like one of us or a pretty girl?
There you go.
Pretty lady, sorry.
So yeah, I'm making some changes. I think these new changes are going to reflect the fact that the podcast has kind of taken the forefront with the Abstract Sports brand. So I'm redoing the homepage to show that, and hopefully we can get this thing growing a little bit more.
ASB, Abstract Sports brand, big baller brand.
ASB, yeah, exactly.
ASB.
It's ASP, Abstract Sports Podcast.
Brand, ASP.
Yeah. So look forward to that. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Some improvements coming your way. Let's go back to the other 2 games in the NFL that happened this weekend. Jacksonville at Pittsburgh.
Whoa, didn't see that coming.
No. Game started out, Jacksonville up 21-0, was it?
Whoa!
Which was like, everybody was thinking it would be going the other way because all the weapons that they have in Le'Veon Bell, Bryant, the receiver, Antonio Brown was not there. Or he was there. Was he there?
He was there.
Okay, he was there. Micah, why did you just got to make me look bad? Just say, yes, he was there.
He was there.
I know he's been injured.
He was there. He wasn't 100%, but he was there.
Ben Roethlisberger was there.
He was.
The hot dog was afoot.
Yes.
But all the weapons just didn't work out. The Jacksonville defense was kind of...
Jacksonville has Pittsburgh's number this year. They really did.
2 picks in that game.
Yeah, they stomped them earlier this season, and it was more of the same. To me, what it looked like, Jacksonville wanted it more. Pittsburgh was totally focused on the Patriots. They just were like, oh, this is the same Jacksonville team as old that doesn't play, even though they're in the divisional round of the playoffs. Maybe probably shouldn't overlook them. They were just like, we're going to beat the Patriots next week in Foxborough. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, Tom Brady's not going to beat us again. Yeah, we beat the Patriots the first time, not this time. Well, you had a game to play before you did that.
Yeah.
And you messed it up.
They should have taken a Bill Belichick approach and said, whenever somebody asks a question about a future game, just say, I don't care. We play these guys this weekend.
I think part of it's coaching. I think Tomlin kind of lets his players run a little loose, which can be good. They've won a lot of games.
Right.
But gotta rein it in a little bit. Ben Roethlisberger looks like he's tired.
Old.
Yeah, just like, I'll play because, I can. I'm getting paid a lot of money.
I saw that somebody packaged up and delivered 7 pastry turnovers to Heinz Stadium or Heinz Field.
And
that's a nice touch.
Cincinnati fans are donating to Blake Bortles charity.
Yeah.
Because, Cincinnati can't beat the Steelers, but Jacksonville can.
Yeah, they're doing that. Also, Andy Dalton's getting a bunch of money to his foundation for beating
the Ravens, the Bills in.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The Bills are the team that I remembered in that scenario.
Yeah, no, Jacksonville looked like they wanted it more. It looked like a more motivated team. Looked like they were having more fun.
Fournette was just running over dudes, man.
Yeah, no, Jacksonville looked like they were the better team and just... Pittsburgh's been there before, but they were just like, we got this. And we don't need to care.
Yeah.
No, you need to care.
When I saw 14 points in the first quarter, right away, boom, boom, I was like, oh my gosh.
No, that was a spicy game there. And the final score is not indicative of the real game.
No.
The Steelers got beat by 10, not by 3.
Yeah, I was hoping, just for the bet's sake, I was hoping they'd come back and Boswell would come out and kick that field goal to give me the +3 to hit it on the nose, but because you had got the Titans game the night before, but that didn't happen. But I was still like, go Jags, that's cool. The Steelers have always been up there. The Jags haven't really been in that picture, and so they showed up to play with a lot of focus and determination. Pittsburgh was just like, oh, we got this, and it didn't happen. So kudos to the Jags. I'm looking forward to the game next week.
Steelers have fired their offensive coordinator.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they won't be so loose next year. They'll be a little more structured.
Yeah.
So the other game was New Orleans at Minnesota.
Not a very good game.
No, this game sucked.
It was an awful game. Terrible game.
So I have to give a shout out real quick. One of my good friends, he goes by Cloverhook. He's a Twitch streamer. He was my old roommate in college for a couple of years. Cloverhook. It's a great name. And his emoji, his little, what do you call it? I guess it's like your Twitch badge for his channel. It's like he had somebody design a clover with a fish hook that's right through it. It's juicy. It's nice.
Was it your design, Kyle?
It's what?
Was it your design?
It was not my design.
Oh, wasn't it? Okay.
Somebody else, but somebody who specializes in doing Bitmoji, little design things. But yeah, shout out to Cloverhook. He's on Twitter. You can find him at Cloverhook. Find him on Twitch. He streams kind of all the time, just on and off. Plays a variety gamer. Right now he's playing this game called Slay the something or other.
Slay the Dragon?
Slay the Spire is what it's called. It's like an RPG with cards. It's really interesting, but go give him a follow and check him out. He's got a hell of a narrator voice. We talk about, a radio voice, oh, he's coming down the stretch or whatever. And this guy's got a piratey, throaty narrator voice that you just have to hear to believe it. But
he's just audio chocolate?
Yes, audio chocolate is a good way to describe it. His microphone does some good work on his voice. But I have to bring him up because he's a huge Vikings fan. And so I popped into his stream last night, and he was just like, go Skull, man! I'm so excited. We're going to the championship game. Oh, my gosh. But it's just cool. Anyways, New Orleans at Minnesota. I rooted for Drew Brees and the Saints to get this one. I was predicting he was going to throw for 400-plus yards. Didn't happen, but he was still just as clutch as Drew Brees has been in the regular season in years past.
Yeah, he set him up. He tried everything he could to make that team win.
He put his team in the position. The defense made one big mistake.
Yeah.
But my attention was really getting. They were down 17-0. The Saints were at half.
Yeah.
And the third quarter starts out, and I have like a sort of a play-by-play because it kind of changed the entire momentum of the game. So in the comeback, Viking safety Andrew Sendejo, he got like knocked out in this weird play, like literally knocked out, not just like.
Well, he made a hell of an interception in the first half.
Yeah, he did. Cody, welcome to the broadcast. Hope you like my hair. I lost a bet.
Just getting that out of the way.
Just get that out of the way every time. Because I just feel like people are going to come in and be like, is this Kyle now?
What's going on?
Is this what he's doing with his life?
This is very abstract.
Yes. Sports with weird hairdos. But Sendejo,
if abstract sports flops, that'll be the next one. Sports with weird hairdos.
So this guy got knocked out. He was like trying to make a football play, and the receiver who was just running his route ran into him, and he just out cold. So he was out for the game. So kind of a key guy who had that big interception in the first half is now gone. And then there was a flag thrown on that play, but they picked it up knowing that it was like inadvertent contact. It wasn't like offensive pass interference, which it's great. It sucks he got injured, but it was the right call on the ref's part.
We're frozen.
Frozen here. Looks like we're frozen here. I'm not dropping any frames, though, so I'm just going to keep on going.
Okay, we're not frozen on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, it might just be this broadcast. But then on the next play, because like Drew Brees is a friggin' genius, there was a guy on the Vikings who reacted to that player getting knocked out, thinking there should have been a foul called or a penalty, and so he like lost his mind. He's like, "What the hell? Why isn't this?" Blah, blah, blah. And then Drew Brees targeted that guy the next play, knowing that his emotions were high, and like trying to just catch him in like a mess up, and he did. Threw the ball right over his head. The guy caught it for a touchdown.
It's cold.
It is cold. I'm like,
that's a cold breeze.
I've never thought of that before. Cold breeze. Man, that line was ice cold, I'll tell you what. But
Sunday what? Sunday ho!
Sunday ho! But Xavier Rhodes was the guy who let his emotions get the best of him and targets him, throws a touchdown to Michael Thomas over his head, and boom, there's 7 points. And right there, I'm like, oh, pow! Dang, that felt like it was a pretty good blow to the Vikings.
Pow!
But I've never thought of plays that way, like certain things that happen where like guys' emotions, they get like hot-headed and then you start targeting that player. It kind of the scenario that I think of initially is like Lance Stevenson for the Pacers getting on LeBron's nerves to try and get him to overreact and then foul him because he's getting mad. So being like an aggravator. But this is just like, it's messed up almost the way that Drew Brees did that.
This guy's having a bad day. Let's pick on him.
Yeah, exactly. Just bullying him in the end zone. It's hilarious, but kind of creepy.
It's had a bad 5 minutes. Let's make it way worse.
Like, what if Drew Brees wasn't a football player for a living? If you put that IQ to something else.
Drew Brees looks like the nice guy. He's really just quite evil.
Yeah.
So,
but the momentum turned there. There's on the very next drive the Vikings had, there's a first play interception, and the Saints turned around and scored another touchdown really quick with a pass to Michael Thomas again. So now it's 17-14, early fourth quarter. And I saw that the biggest postseason comeback ever, beyond this one, or what could have been, was the Super Bowl, where the Falcons just blew that lead. And they almost did it. Saints got a kick blocked. They go down, tie the game with a field goal. So it's 17-all. Like, it was just so crazy watching this. I'm just laying in bed like, this game's pretty much over. And then they start coming back. And no, what's going on?
Man, you were in bed early.
Well, I was just lounging around.
Oh, okay. It was just like, that was like at 7 o'clock, Kyle.
I had my phone like I had it at first like sitting over here at halftime. I took a nap, woke up a couple minutes into the third quarter, and then I'm like, oh my gosh! I like sit up, phone's in my hand now.
It's very spicy.
Such a spicy meatball.
Yeah, no, it looked like the Vikings were trying to give that away in the second half, sans the fourth quarter or the final minute.
Yeah.
So,
and that play, man, it's so crazy. All the Vikings fans out there are just like beyond themselves at this point. But if I was a fan and my team made a buzzer beater win in any sport, could you imagine a buzzer beater in hockey? Like the buzzer sounds, the puck is flying, it's good. But see, I don't know hockey enough to know if the game ends where the puck stands or if the puck continues until it's dead, then it's game. No, game's over when the game's over. But then that pass to Diggs.
So they're calling it the Minnesota or Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah.
I prefer the whiff six.
The whiff.
I like the whiff six personally.
Oh, man. Have you seen the videos and the memes that have come out torturing this dude?
I showed her one last night. It was the play put to the Titanic music.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
That one actually kind of gives you a little bit of chills. You're like, I'm so inspired right now. But the one I saw is like that do like that music, and it's like they put him like next to an ice skater for like Olympics. And then like
the Stone Cold Steve Austin one.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock with like the reach out. The lighting on some of those is like perfect. It looks like they were actually there. But that was like the most unexpected ending to that game, where like, there was 25 seconds left when the Vikings got the ball back.
Yeah.
And in that situation, you just like expect they're going to throw a couple of incomplete passes and then it's going to be game over pretty much. Saints kneel down once and it's game over. But
the Vikings played it pretty well. They were playing to kick the field goal. They weren't
they were just trying to get to the line that they needed their kicker at. Yeah.
And excuse me.
So sleepy.
Yeah. Had the safety not missed, Diggs still caught the pass. Like the catch wasn't that miraculous. It was a good catch. It was a better pass.
He had some ups on that play.
Yeah. It was a good pass. It was a good catch.
Brad says, lesson learned, tackle with your head up.
Yeah, for sure. I think Diggs still would have made it out of bounds, and I think they would have had a chance to kick a field goal.
Would have been a long
kick a field goal for the win. Yeah, would have been a long one, but I think they had a chance.
Well, and their kicker also made a pretty clutch field goal down the stretch.
It
was a 53-yarder.
They moved on from Blair Walsh of old.
They showed highlights of that. They're like, we hate to remind you Vikings fans, but you remember this guy.
Remember when we lost to the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Because of Blair Walsh? Well, we sent him to the Seahawks. And here we are. But yeah, it's a good pass. It's a good catch.
Heads up play
Bad
by Diggs.
defense. Yeah.
Like him not giving up on the play thinking, I'm going to get tackled. I'm just going to fall down.
Yeah, him not panicking.
He just makes that twist, man. He's gone.
Yeah. Even had he looked up and seen another safety, he probably just want to run out of bounds and had a second left. But he was just like...
Just so you don't want to give up your chance.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a guy there, he might tackle you, and you don't have any timeouts, it's game over. So, yeah, it's just like stars aligning for the Vikings on that last play. Alice says, poor kid is a rookie who played a good game and a good season. It's too bad the season ended that way. Yeah, I agree. That's rough. I mean,
keep your chin up.
I mean, turn off your social media notifications and everything. People are atting you right now.
Go count your money.
But that was a dang good game. The games this weekend didn't really disappoint, minus the Titans.
Well, this whole offseason's been pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Minus the Titans-Patriots game.
Right. I mean, the Titans getting to move on in the wild card round was kind of like a woo moment, and then the inevitable happens, and but every other game has just been tight.
It's been pretty good. Kind of has reminded me of, I think it was the 2016 playoffs, where the Cowboys lost to the Packers in a heartbreaker. And then the Packers lost to the Seahawks in a heartbreaker, and
on a missed field goal.
Yeah, and the Vikings lost to the Seahawks on a heartbreaker. It was a really good postseason, that one. And this has been a good postseason. Last year, I feel like it was more kind of not as close.
Yeah.
So
I agree. It's kind of like two teams that just kind of
Atlanta kind of steamrolled their way through, and the Patriots kind of steamrolled their way through.
Yep.
Whereas this one, it's
And
I don't know.
And the upcoming games have a lot of entertainment value, just potential. You know, the Jaguars and the way they've been performing defensively. Like, I don't have a team, but I like the Jaguars. They're pretty classy people.
Jaguars.
I
like the Jaguars.
The Jaguars. But, you know, there's, you know how in the one episode a couple weeks ago where we said, well, maybe Blake Bortles is going to make Blake Bortles look like Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
People like to do that. Like, on the radio shows I've been listening to, they're like, Blake Bortles, Blake Bortles, blah, 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 blah.
Blake Bortles.
And I don't know. I just like that team. I like the defensive identity they have. They have that mean rushing powerhouse in Fournette.
Call it swag.
Swag. Got the swag.
Swagger.
Swag in the bag. For you Montanians out there.
I like to root for the Jags, but they're about to get Belichicked.
Belichick yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Good. Nice. As you know, as good as they are at checkers, Belichick's still playing chess.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's pretty much the same thing that I've heard. Like, I do think the Jaguars, you got me all up in my head now. The Jaguars, I think that they're going to give them a good challenge, but we know that, you know, Belichick is the coach of that team, and they come prepared every single week. And as much as their defense is amazing, the Jaguars got me in my head now. Oh, it's so bad. They're saying that they're just going to do their like quick short passes, and then the play action, and then a bomb, and then just kind of use the variety game to throw them off. So
they're good at turning the defensive strengths against them.
Yeah.
Like, you have a really good pass rush? Okay. Well, we'll design some plays that take that out of the question.
Yeah,
we'll let your guys run themselves out of the play. And, yeah. And I think sorry.
It's all good.
I think the Patriots D will just confuse Bortles, and it'll turn into kind of a turnover fest. Maybe not a turnover fest, just I don't think the Jags' offense is going to do much.
Right. So their defense better actually get some turnovers and some takeaways.
I'm predicting a lower scoring game myself, but that's it.
Okay. Well, after we talk about the next game, we'll double back and we'll make our picks, and this will be our bet for next week. Does that sound fair?
Don't tell me what to do.
What?
Huh?
Don't tell me what to do?
What?
I'm the host here.
Kobe.
Brad says, blah, Pats. Well, sorry, Dolphins. They're just not quite on the same level.
At least they're in the playoffs.
Yeah. So the next game is the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Spicy.
Very spicy matchup. Two teams that came in 13-3 at the end of the season.
Number 1, number 2 seed.
We know the Vikings are coming off that crazy high. They've celebrated like crazy after that game, almost like they won a championship. But can they come back and beat this Nick Foles backed up offense?
Yes.
Yes? Quick answer, yes. I am getting notifications. Oh my gosh. Kyle Kuzma's also injured. The Lakers are just all beaten up. I should probably turn on like different notifications so we don't just get Lakers notifications. That would be cool.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a live update. Breaking news.
If the Vikings play defense like they did the first half of the Saints game, it should be pretty easy for them. Because Nick Foles did nothing against Atlanta. But if the Vikings play the defense they played in the second half of the Saints game, I don't know.
Right.
Could have a game. But it all depends on what defense shows up from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
they may not come all fully together. I mean, they're clearly disjointed in those halves.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the coaching may pull it together. Like, hey, pull your head out of your bleep. Let's go. Case Keenum is going to get his, I think, against Philly's D. I think they'll score just fine. It's a matter of can they score enough, depending on the defense. Defense shows up, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Defense doesn't show up, who knows?
See, I'm like on the fence with that game. That's a close one for me. But all right, so let's go back and make our picks here.
You go first, Kyle.
Me go first?
You go first. Since you lost the bet, we'll give you the advantage. You can pick what game.
Is it an advantage to go first, or is it an advantage to go second? Because I think it's an advantage to go second.
Okay, well, you pick. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I'm going to let you go first, because then I can play prices right off this.
Do you want me to pick the game or just the score?
Well, Well, I mean, I guess we have to do both, right?
Okay.
We
Well,
have to pick the winner. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I don't know. Whatever's going to give you the biggest advantage. Duh.
I pick Minnesota to win,
Okay.
and I pick the Patriots to win.
Oh, I see what you're doing here. Okay. That didn't go how I was expecting it to go. I hate you. You twist my words. I guess I wasn't very clear.
You didn't really answer the
I
question.
wasn't very clear. Okay, so you've got Patriots and you've got Vikings. I've got Patriots as well. And
Philly is the home team.
yeah, they are the home team. You're just trying to take me down that path, though. See, I feel like you have to give a score first on one of them because that's where the benefit comes in. It's not fair if you just make a team
which
pick.
one do you want me to give a score on?
I want you
first?
to give a score on the Jags and Patriots.
Jags-Patriots game.
Yes.
Okay. I got the Pats by 7.
Pats by 7. Okay. Pats plus 7. Brad says, oh my goodness, take the Jags. It will put you over the top. No. I don't want to.
We don't have any money riding on it, so.
I don't want to fall in the trap.
First of all, what are we betting?
I don't know. Usually we come up with that after the fact.
That's true. You still haven't decorated your office.
I had brought all the things that I have to decorate. I have to spend money to decorate, and you realize it's after Christmas season. I have no money.
Your excuses, Kyle.
Oh, jeez. But I have plans. Like, there's going to be some flags going up, like, right here on this little divider of the windows. They're going to hang right over my head, kind of, in the background. Would be nice. But anyways, I'm going to say Patriots win by 6.
You just priced right at me.
Just got him. Okay.
Well, that's okay. I think the Pats are going to win anyway, so as long as they win by 7 or more,
Right.
I'm golden.
I'm just hoping the defense,
You're hoping they win by 3.
like holds them just enough. Somebody's throwing some angry emojis out here. It's probably Brad 'cause I didn't pick the Jags.
Well, you pretty much did by prices right.
Yeah, I did pick the Jags to get me the win on the bet.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the win. As much as I would love to see the Jags win. I'm rooting for them. I mean, that's good for me in the bet, and it's good for me in my sports feelings. So I'm actually rooting for a team that I care about, not just because it's a good bet. When I say care about, I mean because I don't like the Patriots. So then I'll pick the score for the Vikings-Eagles. This one's the hard one, though. I just wanted to get your feel on how much the Patriots are going to win by because that's the telling sign on that one.
I would have done the other way, but you know.
Let's see. Vikings-Eagles.
And you have who do you have? You haven't even said who you have in this game.
No, I haven't said who I have. Oh man. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to be honest. I really don't know all that much about the Eagles.
They were far and away the best team when Carson Wentz was playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were playing some dang good football there. And the Vikings are sort of like my brother said, is like a patchwork offense kind of where they have like people who are backups and other people who are just kind of filling in the role.
The Vikings may have the second, third, and fourth best quarterback in this round.
In this round.
Yeah.
Teddy?
And Sam Bradford.
Teddy and Sam. Yeah, you got Nick Foles. I don't even know who the other backup is for that.
So the starting quarterbacks in this round of the playoffs, one has 5 Super Bowl rings, and the other 3 have 5 postseason starts among themselves. So a little bit of disparity there. You looking up?
Looking up some stuff. Come at me, bro.
The Eagles are underdogs, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
they're like 3-point dogs.
They're underdogs, but they're home, and they haven't. I do buy a lot into those types of things. Like being at home does a lot for your confidence as a team. And Nick Foles has done well in the past, so I'm like, meh. Like the Vikings defense, they're kind of choppy, so I kind of want to root against them. So I'm going to say Eagles win by 7.
Eagles by 7?
Eagles by 7. I'm going that way.
Eagles by 7.
Yeah.
All right. Vikes by 3.
Okay. Micah's looking at me like I'm an idiot. Like he makes me feel so small, guys. Do you see the bullying that's happening?
I was generous on my Pats by 7. I should have done Pats by 3. I did Pats by 7 to give you some room.
Honestly,
So
I don't even care if I lose bets because it makes this way more fun for me. I mean, even if I have to drink a shitty drink, I don't care.
I think that's what I'm going to bet you. I'm going to make you another. Well, I can't because we did. Damn it.
I mean, you can make it, but it just can't be an adult beverage. So what do we have to do if
I might get hot sauce or see if I can get like some fermented fish or something. Oh yeah, we got some fish sauce. Drink some fish sauce.
like anchovy?
Yeah, it's like
Goo.
pressed oil. Yeah.
Nice.
It's pungent. It smells like armpits.
Nice.
It's bad.
Cool. That's awesome. Nice.
So
Cool. Awesome.
It might be
nice.
might be a food, spicy or stinky.
That's cool.
I'll let you pick.
That's so awesome. Man, that's nice.
Kyle's scared.
I'm not scared. I really don't care.
Kyle's scared.
You're making me try new things. It's helping me out. If I win, Brad says, my dad really is upset that we picked the Patriots. And Brad says Jags by 10.
Okay, what do we have on this, Brad?
Alice says boo. Brad says OMG. Brad also says, Kyle, your bows are too tight. Actually, they're clip-ons, okay? They're just fine.
I don't feel any remorse picking 5-time Super Bowl champ over Bortles.
Yeah.
Maybe next year, because I think the Jags are going to be good for a little while. I really do.
I have a little, I wouldn't say remorse, but I have, I know that Tom, the GOAT Brady,
Yeah.
TB12 is the man,
And it's in New England. It's going to be cold.
but I think the defense, they've been playing really well. I think they're going to do good against him, but I think they'll still get the win. It's like, I don't want the Patriots to win, but I'm going off of how they do things, and everybody knows that they find a way to win. Cody just joined the stream. What's up, buddy? See, I can never come up with good things because I don't want to do mean things to people.
It's not that I want to do mean things to you, Kyle. I just want to do entertaining things.
Entertaining things, yeah.
And like doing your taxes isn't very entertaining.
But
It'd
it's
be very
highly,
nice.
highly beneficial.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
kind of
it's-
you. Yes.
Loser does the winner's taxes or something. Very beneficial. Sucks for the loser, but it's not very good entertainment.
Okay. See, I'm trying to keep it so that, like, I was just thinking, like, you have to paint your face like a clown for the next show. But that's just, like, I don't know. People are going to show up and be like, is this actually a sports show? There's no credibility here.
If it's clowns, it's ICP. Awful music.
Let's see.
Juggle sports.
Man, I need some suggestions. Cody's making some curry for dinner.
I made pho yesterday.
Chef curry with the shot, boy. I don't know. So what do you have an idea of what you're doing? Because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Would you rather do something spicy or something stinky?
Spicy.
Spicy? Okay.
Spicy meatball.
And will be some hot sauce. Either just like a dab or like a cracker with a bunch of hot sauce on it or something.
Okay. God, that's really hard. I don't want to make you wear a Boise State shirt, but
Rule.
that is pretty bad.
For those of you who aren't Idaho Vandals, that's pretty sacrilege. That's eating bacon if you're non-pork. So it's pretty bad.
Dang it. Okay, I'm going to have to come back. We've got a fun segment. I'll come back and I'll give you what I'm going to do. I really don't have an idea right now. And I feel like I'm just stalling and running the clock up. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad for entertainment. So, yeah, my dad says Kyle hates mushrooms. He's not wrong.
Spicy mushrooms.
Nice. I love spicy dirt. So we're going to do a little fun segment here. It's called Sports Doppelgangers. I mean, it's not a very creative name, but it is what it is. I put together some things, some side-by-sides of people in sports who look like somebody else, and they're usually like celebrities or something like that. So there might be some people in here in the sports world you may not know about because they're kind of behind the scenes, but they're definitely doppelgangers of other people. So let's just go through these really quick. First one is, you got Rick Carlisle, the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. No, it's the Mavericks, sorry. Dallas Mavericks. Definitely looks like Jim Carrey. I mean, do you agree?
It's pretty close.
Pretty dang close. I mean, Rick Carlisle's kind of balding. I couldn't find a good picture of Jim Carrey where he doesn't have hair. But they both have a dimple on like the left side of their face, like right here. A little dimple. And just like, pretty sure they're the same person.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's a head basketball coach. Did you know that?
Didn't know that.
He'd be very animated as a coach.
Let me show you something. 3 turnovers are too many. It's kind of hot in these arenas.
Jim Carrey is like one of my all-time favorite actors just because he's so crazy.
It's a little hot in these rhinos.
That is the best scene of all time. Best Jim Carrey scene when he's in the rhino. Boop, boop. Oh, man. So that's your first one. All right, moving on to the next one. After I switch to the camera real quick. Okay, here's your next one. You probably don't know the guy on the left, but you definitely know the guy on the right. You've got a guy named Rob Pelinka, who is the GM of the Los Angeles Lakers. And then you have Rob Lowe on the right. They both have the first name of Rob.
You're blowing my mind right now, Kyle.
Am I?
Blowing my mind.
They look so much alike.
You're spewing some hot taters right now.
Man. One guy, I bet you Rob Pelinka's like a foot taller than Rob Lowe, though. But both very sexy men.
His last name is Lowe, so he's lower.
Low. Oh, he's lower to the ground, low rider.
Yeah.
I like your freestyle there. It's good.
Okay. Yeah.
But their lips are so similar. It's weird.
The perma purse.
They're like,
perma purse.
So that's that one. And then we'll just jump right to the next one. This is one that people have been in the media saying they've never been in the same room together, so there's a possibility.
Yeah, Wentz looks a little more fiery redhead than Harry does, but it might be the lighting.
Yeah, it might be the lighting, but
it's a little hazy over there in the UK.
He's awfully gingery in this picture, that's for sure. But one of my friends in the last podcast, let's see, Cody says, I still think that Tom Brady kind of looks like Daniel Tosh. Yeah, I kind of see that. I could see that. And then Cody says Kevin Durant and Jamie Foxx. Oh, that's another one. See, we could do another doppelganger later on.
Yeah, we'll have a part 2.
Yeah, we'll have a part 2 of the doppelgangers. Here's the next one. You've got C.J. McCollum from the Blazers. Looks eerily similar to Jaleel Green, a.k.a. Steve Urkel.
Did I do that?
Did I do that? He's much more buff now than he was back in the days of Steve Urkel.
Thick.
Thick in a good way.
Urkel with 3 R's.
With 3 N's.
Urkels.
Urkel. Brad says Tom Brady and anyone's butt. Anyone's comment, butt comment.
I see where you get your cleverness from there, Kyle.
Yeah, very hasty and pointful, yes. And here's the very last, but not least, doppelganger of the day. You know we had to do it. We did it again.
Ben Roethlisberger looks like a hot dog.
A gas station hot dog with very neatly crisscrossed ketchup and mustard.
Yes.
Much like his
red and yellow, red and yellow. You know what it is.
Oh my gosh, we should have got like a brat or like a hot dog with like the lines on it and then the yellow mustard going horizontal so it looks like a bumblebee, kind of like their old uniforms. That would have been too beautiful.
Yeah, it would have been good.
But we've mentioned it before. Ben Oscar Mayer Wiener looks awfully like a...
You weren't supposed to say that. You're supposed to let the fans.
What did I say?
You said Ben Oscar Mayer Wiener.
No, I didn't. I said Roethlisberger. But that is your first edition of Sports Doppelgangers with Abstract Sports Podcast. Hope that was at least a little bit interesting for you guys. I mean, I feel like most people know that people in the sports world look like these people because they get talked about and joked about. But it's fun to actually put it out there and be like, did you know these two people exist in different lives? Yeah, they are not the same person. Alice says, Howdy Doody and Andy Dalton. I don't know those ones. Well, we'll refer back to this podcast episode for version 2.
Doppelganger part dupe.
Doppelgangers.
Duple.
I like that. All right, now I have to come up with a bet favor or reward for Micah. Gosh, it's so hard. Let's see, what does Micah hate, Becca? Since I have you here, I'll use you as a resource. Becca, what would Micah really be embarrassed by? Or
He's not embarrassed by anything. I mean, just look at
I have no shame, Kyle.
if a fart comes up, you have to let it rip on the air.
I'd probably do that anyway.
Oh man. I kind of want to make you talk in a radio voice, like a, really exaggerated voice the entire podcast. That'd be pretty funny.
So, Kyle, have you read the scores lately, huh?
Okay, that's your bet. That's
First time viewers would be like, man, that's some audio chocolate coming into my ear holes.
That's the reward. Yep.
I have to talk like this?
That is, yep. If you lose this bet, you have to talk
You're
like...
so malicious, Kyle.
You just have to be a little less loud.
You're so malicious, Kyle.
You're so malicious, Kyle.
See, my radio voice is volume specific.
It makes sense. I mean, voices are the way they are.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
The Olympics starting
The
tomorrow.
arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Scotch, Scotch, Scotch. I love Scotch.
That's not a tongue twister.
Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat,
Toy boy, toy boy. Okay, so those are your bet rewards. I don't know what to call them. Payouts. That's the word. There you go. The payouts. So if I win the bet, Micah has to talk in a radio
like
voice.
this for an hour.
For an hour. If that doesn't turn heads, I don't know what will. And this hair, I mean, on point. But if I lose, Micah is going to do something spicy for me, and not in the way that not the way you're thinking.
You like a man in leather there, Kyle, huh?
No, don't do that. I don't like that.
I talked to Kelly. She said it was okay.
Brad says helium balloon voice. Talk like this the entire time. Yeah, you'd like.
If it wasn't real, if it was me faking helium voice, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But if I'd sit here and huff helium, I would probably die.
Well, I see these microphones lend themselves for deep, bassy voice. It like catches a lot of that. With helium, it'd just be like you would hear it off the wall more than you'd hear it in the microphone.
Bass.
All about that bass.
Bass.
So there you have it.
Bass.
I've got the Patriots by 6. He's got them by 7. I've got the Eagles by 7. He's got the Vikings by 3. I think I've got
some hot sauce coming your way. That's right.
Hot sauce, just like these matchups are going to be. I'm looking forward to some football this weekend, man. I'm not going to lie.
Bass.
But I want to say, wait, here we go. Cody says just make Micah wear all Seahawks gear. That's not as bad as Boise State stuff, though. I don't know if you were in here when we mentioned it, but I mentioned having him wear a Boise State shirt or something like that. But I don't know if I can bring myself to do something like that.
Make him wear a Richard Sherman jersey.
You have to buy the jersey.
Yeah, that sounds like it's not good for me either. Yeah, this is $130. Now go burn it.
Yep.
See, that's the hard part is like buying gear. Like you bought that Celtics hat.
Yeah.
You used it as a giveaway, which is awesome. But buying extra gear for somebody, it's like I'm never going to buy Boise State stuff. So that's the thing that kind of hinders me from buying it for you.
Yeah, and I have a fridge full of hot sauce, so I'm prepared.
Right. Like do something that's sustainable. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like your voice is never going to die. Just do something weird with it this day.
That's just because you couldn't come up with something a little more malicious than talking.
Well, I can't. Talking, though, making you talk in a way that is not comfortable or normal. That's fine with me. And I think it's hilarious.
I have a suggestion.
Becca coming in the picture again.
Here's what we do. we get one of those iron-on, like, printable things, and we make him a Richard Sherman shirt with a big heart around it. That'd be pretty cute.
We might have to. We'll save that one. Super Bowl pick. That might be the one. Then we can talk about Predator and
Oh yeah,
talking to Predator.
Good old doppelgangers.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much does it for this episode. I want to say thanks to everybody for coming through and participating in the chat. Definitely love that. Next week, I'm going to do some more promotion, try to get some more people up in here, and we'll have you guys share this as well, so that, not this, but like the next episode, we'll have you share it so that we can get your friends involved. The more of your friends and people that come into the podcast, that makes the discussion a lot more fun, because then there's people here that we don't know, and that makes things very interesting, the mystery of it all. So thanks again for tuning in to the episode number 36 of the Abstract Sports Podcast. You can find this on SoundCloud, also on YouTube or iTunes or TuneIn or Stitcher, any of those podcast outlets if you like audio quality. If you're a person that doesn't like to watch live people doing a show like this, like we're doing on Facebook right now, you can go back and watch the YouTube video, or you can listen to the SoundCloud. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can find us, guys. Or you can follow us on Instagram if you just like images, and you can follow along with our pics and stuff. Before we take off, though, I do have to bring up Clay's comments from last week. Let me get that up real fast. Yeah, so Clay. Woo! Oh, I have desktop audio turned off anyway, so we're safe. Clay Dog. Holy crap. He comments a lot. So if you want to participate in the conversation with Clay, join him in the comments on YouTube. He says, I don't know if you know that, like the thing. Shirts for show, hoping for a polo, seriously. That'd be cool. I'd wear a polo with the Abstract Sports brand on it. I would totally do that.
Sounds expensive.
I don't know. It's not too bad. Probably more than T-shirts, but
Probably. Especially if they're embroidered.
Clay actually has a suggestion here. I should have came to the comments first. A bet should be for Micah to shave his sideburns. Ha ha ha. Because you did suggest that last time.
They grow back.
Serious bet there, though. Maybe the Super Bowl. Still trying to think of one for me, for Kyle. Apparently you make a face after the first Lakers comment in the last episode. We might have to rewind that. Check it out. Clay's also a fan of the camera angle on you now. He says, got a better view of that boy.
You can see my voluptuous figure.
Yes. Clay said he did not hear the net crack, and I think I mentioned that earlier. Turn up your volume. You'll hear it.
It's bad.
Go back.
It's bad.
I'm just not healthy. It's bad. That's the real bad part.
I was like legitimately concerned when he did it. I was just like,
my neck's
is he
just
going to
like
be
this.
okay?
Well,
I thought it was the chair,
day.
and then I realized it was his neck. It was like, oh.
It's like, Kyle, your hair's awfully wispy. Well, my neck's broken, so that's good.
Yeah, it was a solid. It was like a two-parter. Pop,
pop. Brad says, friends? I don't know what he's talking about. Friends. Jeffrey just joined the podcast. What's up, man? We're about to head out, though. People always join right at the last second. I don't get it. Why do they do that? It's okay, though. Good seeing you. Tune in next week, though, Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time here on Facebook. Like the page, follow us so you can be notified, and we will see you next week. Micah, do you have any parting comments?
No.
All right. He never does. It's all right.
Base.
All right. We'll see you guys next week, episode 37. You have a good night. Bye. And we're still live, but I'll chop it right there. Trying to find the close down button. Dun, 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 dun.